after he came on, a lot of people that knew him messaged us and said that guy's a straight up something's wrong with him. That was compulsive liar.
I didn't think he was a psychopath. I thought he was hilarious.
Was there anyone besides that guy?
There's one, but we're not gonna bring that person up.
What are you talking about?
Which one?
Just say it and then we'll redact it from the video.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Why not?
Just say it. We'll zoom in on your face and redact it.
Wait, what?
Welcome back to Careful Boys. Today we're talking about the times that we've lied to our audience and love it.
Oh, like when do we not?
I don't know. Well, exactly.
All right, I do. This is one of my favorite things, right?
Yeah.
Is like sometimes we have an inside joke, and sometimes, a lot of the times, the fans that watch us, they're in on it, right? And then we play based off of these characters or these themes or these bits. I don't like it though when you have to unveil that curtain.
I don't either.
I fucking hate it. And when you have to explain the joke.
I know.
That thing drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to explain it to someone here or explain it to like an audience member?
Like someone in the comments or someone who's like taking offense to it. Or
It's like,
something.
let it roll. It's funny.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But there have been times in the past where like people want to seem smart, so they'll call out what's happening, and it's like, Captain fucking obvious, that is happening, but you don't have to like unveil that to the public. Yeah.
Yeah, like if some maybe like a couple times there'd be some idiot that really thinks that I was claiming to be Indian.
Amazing.
Like that I was claiming it.
Yeah,
But you do though. But you do though.
I'm about to make a troll ID account called Captain Obvious, and then I'm just gonna reveal all of our secrets.
Ooh, wow.
Good stuff.
Right, it's not Indian.
No, my only point of pride.
People still believe it that you are Indian. I would.
I mean, it's believable.
Yeah.
You mean?
I don't really know what I have to gain from that, but
I know. What does that do for you?
A lot of fans support.
it kind of doesn't get me in anywhere.
You get discounts in India for sure, though.
I think so.
I think
Like
I'd have
in
to.
the country?
Oh yeah, I think I'd have to step away from.
I
you.
think Indian guys would know I'm not Indian.
You think so?
I think that joke preys upon the
Just say you're from.
the ignorance of people.
Say you're from like Canada.
Brampton.
Yeah, Brampton.
When Nikki's around like Filipino ladies, they always claim her immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
You're Filipino?
Yeah, always.
They could feel it.
They just like assume that she's one of them, like immediately. In fact, wherever she goes, they just assume she's one of them.
Is it like a point of pride because she's on the other side of the table versus dealing?
How did you get there?
That one video you did where she's like auditioning for a Latina role and you're making her say Latina things. That's what's so fucking funny about that.
I know, because she actually went through that in auditions.
That's what's so
And she
funny
passed.
about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the Latino don't know.
Yeah, they're like, can you be more Latina right now? And she's like, I mean, all right.
I don't know if like a lot of times that we purposely lied to the audience. I know times that they really like think I'm lying.
Yeah.
Like when they thought. I remember when I was kind of newish here, and I told that story about TJ. Everybody's like, "This guy that didn't fucking happen." I'm like, "What? You think that's a lie?"
And then you brought TJ.
Yeah, and then he's there, and then
You're like, he's faking his fucking injury.
And I don't know what happened to these people. I think they left, but like they were all like, "Well, that one was true, I guess." The most dramatic one was true. Okay, yeah.
No, I think since we started, people accused us of like lying about our stories.
Yeah, which I don't understand because it's like a lot of it has videos.
Yeah.
Like, what stories do people call out?
No, I think it's
think
people that haven't lived life and had experiences that they just think that these things are like.
They just think they don't happen.
It's just too outlandish.
But like, what about like certain stories that you've said on the channel? Like, are there specific ones you can
Like
think
when
of?
people think that I'm lying when I say I'm best friends with Cone Hart.
Yeah. And they're obviously fucking wrong. And wait till you see the group chats that Steve's in with this guy. You'll be so moted, it's not even funny.
You'll be so motivated because it says his name.
Dude, there were people who thought I lied about the whole marathon.
Really? Really?
Yeah, there were people that literally were just like they just couldn't stop trying to find. They're like,
Oh, they're trying to find her like path.
They don't know you at all then.
yeah, exactly, and they're just like, there's no way because I've seen that, and there's no way that
I desperately want to find out in like a long time that you did lie about the
That would be hilarious. What if he just took a picture at the beginning, at the end? And he brought
Smacks
his own
in on
number.
it, like the whole thing, and then years from
the
now,
JK fan that said they saw me there is in on it. Everyone's in on it.
that would be sick.
That's something that I would do, and that would very clearly in the video be as sarcastic as humanly possible, and people would be like, "There's no way he really did that," and it's like, no fucking shit, dude.
But that's just like I don't know, man. It seems like all of the craziest things that I've been through are like when those end up being true, people are like, okay, fine, we'll give you that one.
I think my favorite.
But you're a liar, though.
Your life is crazy, though.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to make it more believable the more you know.
Most people who leave the house every day, shit happens.
Right.
That's just all I could say, because I incessantly would want to leave the house every day to make shit happen. Like, that's just I was obsessive about that.
Yeah.
So stuff like fucking goes wrong all the time. And I have a good memory, so then I'm like, oh, I remember when this shit happened and this guy died, and it's like people are like, there's no way he knows that many people that died. It's like, dude, I'm 41. Most people I know are dead.
Or they're dying.
Yeah, they're about to be, you know. They're on their way. We all are.
Car accidents happen. Why is that outlandish?
I don't know, man.
Like, people die in car accidents all the fucking time, every
How come he
day.
knows every single one of them?
How come he's the cause of every single one?
Plus I grew up
He's
in
bad luck.
Plus I've never lived anywhere but LA, and it's like the amount of people you meet growing up here is like insane.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, one day we're gonna find out he's Mr. Glass, dude.
I think that's an underrated thing. It's
Yeah.
like when you grow up in a
Volume.
big city, you just know so many people.
We have 10 million
Yeah.
people in this county.
That's true, and you run across lots of different types of people.
Yeah, how do you think freaking Quest Halloween is thousands of people all the time? It's like, it's not just because I don't suddenly know anybody. Like, dude, you freaking grew up in one town, you never move.
Or like how Big Herc comes here, a former bank robber.
Exactly. It's like if I said I knew that guy, you didn't see him, people would be like, cap. There's no way he knows There's no way he knows a guy that did that many years in penitentiary, like in federal prison.
How did you meet him?
At a car meet. Yeah, because
He does things.
we were part of the same car club. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
part of the same car club. Like we just he's like a big Chevelle guy. He's got a bunch of stuff. And then I didn't know his story until like he goes, I'm thinking of starting YouTube. And I was like, okay, this guy wants to start YouTube? All right. And that's when I was like working a lot with Dietrich. And I was like, let me tell you, you got a lot to learn, bud. It's a lot of stuff. And then he started his prison thing and he's like, yeah, I did a lot of time. I want to maybe do some stuff about that. And I was like, whoa, that's a really cool idea. And then it shot up like crazy. Yeah. And then he started telling me his whole story because he had me over his house. I met a lot of his friends, and I was like, wait, this guy was in porn? Whoa.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
he like wrote a romance novel for women from his perspective being in jail. He authored it while he was doing time. Wow. And he got rich off of it while he was still behind bars. It's a remarkable story.
Was he getting hella letters from like horny bitches?
Yeah, he has an interesting life. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's pretty crazy. But then like it all sounds like a lie if I'm like sounds like I'm freestyling the coolest thing I could think of.
But if everyone you're around is interesting, you don't think it's abnormal.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's kind of like when I was at Cal State LA, there's a high school there that's like a liberal arts high school. And every single one of those kids look fucking weird. But because they're all weird together, it looks like one group, like one club. That's normal.
A bunch of weirdos. You know what I'm saying?
But I do think that's like entertainment and everything. Like you just have a bunch. It's a freak show, but then that becomes normal because like everyone there is just unique, and that's the default. Is weird.
I think for lying, maybe there's stuff that we'll leave out of a story to save somebody from embarrassment.
Like real names?
Yeah, maybe that's where we would have to purposely lie to like protect.
Yeah.
That's not lying.
I mean,
That's telling the
It's like
truth and just
talking
withholding
around,
some things.
Yeah, withholding information that would hurt
Yeah, I
somebody.
guess it is if you like kind of change the story.
I've held back on, so like not lying, but holding back on destroying someone's character, even if I felt like
They deserve it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
why? Like I said, this is a fun comedy channel. Like it's not a drama channel. It's not, we're not makeup gurus that are gonna really benefit off of this, you know.
You think we get better engagement if we just started personally?
But it's not the kind of environment I want to create.
Or like a drama channel.
We could just bring David on here. He could do it for us.
Yeah.
I purposely changed some facts about this person because I didn't want them to be so easily found. But it was I think I shared it really quickly one time that I had a friend who had a partner who ended up kid diddling, and then they still are together today. And the like Christian forgiveness was so strong that they ended up making it.
Wow.
And they're totally fine. But then like that
I hope he's not a repetitive offender.
I hope he's under watch at all times.
Yeah, by the church.
I hope they didn't make kids.
No, they went through the whole process, got convicted, everything.
Wow.
Had to be on what's it called?
A registry?
Yeah, the registry for a while, which was rough because that person was a child educator, and that's kind of how it happened. But
You got too tempted.
just to make it less guessable, like I changed some shit on that story. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just in case you have seen some of these lovely pieces on some of our gentlemen here, these awesome jade pendants, or you may have seen the recent JK adventure where we went to Jade Jewelers, just remember that the sale is on now. If you want to visit thejadejewelers.co, you can even find some of the stuff that our guys have had, and way, way more. The selection is huge, so make sure to visit the Jade Jewelers and check out what they've got.
Check it out.
Let's go.
Do I know this person?
If you like crack, you shouldn't be around crack.
Yeah,
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't be doing that
If you
shit.
know you like kids, stay away from them.
Yeah. Stupid ass.
I always thought that.
Have some discipline, you know.
I think we've been more accused of lying than actually lied, though. Like kind of like you mentioned David earlier.
Yeah.
Like there was a time when every single time he told a story, everyone was like, he's full of fucking shit.
It turned into such a bit
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
because it's like, how do you think this guy's lying? Like this guy's so fucking honest about everything. Like too honest. Yeah.
And how would you know? Like, I mean, we all know we don't hang around with fucking liars. And then, like, it's easy to catch someone if they're bullshitting. You meet their friends and family.
Exactly.
You see where they grew up. It's really hard to continue bullshitting.
I used to think David's story about him stabbing a kid in the face with a pencil was like, I was like, honestly, that's crazy. I just, not that I thought it was a lie, but I just was like, that's a crazy story. And then I met his cousin who was like, oh yeah, David did that. And I go, oh, okay. And then enough people kind of co-signed and you're like, oh yeah.
I think it's also the longer you know
Yeah.
somebody, like if you're like newer here and you're just telling crazy ass stories, then yeah, it's gonna seem like you're just trying to like make a big impression or like have a strong start or something. But I think like the longer you're here, like the more people are like, oh, typical of that person that would happen. You know, like it starts to make more sense.
Yeah. And then you don't really
Yeah.
think about that being weird.
Yeah, and then by the time we all have out the closets, then everything is like,
That
you know,
makes
it's all laid
sense.
out. Yeah, it's all laid out. That's why like I try to put as much footage as I could from like mine because I'm like, yeah, a lot of it's gonna sound fucking like almost like an adventure film, but it really was that weird.
I don't lie, but I do emphasize the thing that I think makes it more interesting. So, for example, like let's say if I did do like a Iron Man or something, and I won a gold medal, I think that's boring. I'd rather talk about the fish that got stuck in my wetsuit the whole time, or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think like when you talk about like the stuff that's like to your own horn or any of those type
Jerk
of things,
yourself
yeah,
off.
that just feels weird. So I always like to talk way more and maybe re-emphasize the things that are way more interesting in the story. So I guess like if you were to look at it factually, you might think, oh, this is like the main story and this is the like the B story or whatever, but it probably could have been the other way around.
Yeah,
but it's just
yeah.
boring to tell it like that.
Right, or yeah. Or sometimes some stories you just forget some of the details and then
Yeah.
the second time you tell it, you remember different details about it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're like lying. It just means your memories just fucking switches sometimes.
Yeah.
But then making up whole features that are like major is like that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really lie much on this channel just because,
But I'm not
really,
the channels.
you know, I'm not really known as the big crazy story guy because whenever you guys ask me about stuff, I do have to talk about my schedule a lot. So, you know, as we know, that's
Yeah, we know that.
it's thrilling content, and that's what the people want to know.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing from 1 to 2 on a Wednesday?
Right.
You get accused the most, dude.
Yeah.
This fool is so busy. Yeah, right.
Lunch? Oh, wow.
Lunch, yeah.
Takes a lunch break at 1?
Ground beef and rice, you know, just
Wow.
keep it real simple.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite shit is though? When we are clearly being satirical.
I know, man.
And
Nothing you can do.
and it's just we got some interesting people out there that take everything for face value.
But we just gotta take those L's though, right?
At least
No,
we have-
I love it. That's my favorite thing.
Happy to. I enjoy it.
Even though they're the minority, it makes me want to do it more.
It's like when I'm walking in the airport and I got shorts on, and like some Asian lady sees my tattoo and I'm just the white guy and she's like, and I'm like,
She scoffs at you.
believe it or not, this is ironic. Sorry.
You just see the other 6 guys.
But don't you want to go? No, it's not what you think.
No, fuck no, I don't. I don't want to say a thing.
I know.
I want her to think I'm that guy.
Yeah,
Like, oh, this is a white boy who like thinks he went to Asia one time and got a tattoo and he thinks he's so connected to Asia.
You should spit shine it in front of them. Just fucking shine it in front of them.
If they ever asked me, I'd be like, I went to Hong Kong for like 4 hours on a layover.
The fuck do you know about it?
I'm very connected to those people. They're beautiful people.
It does feel a little bit weird when I'm about to tell you, like, let's say that we had a story about like a river raft or some shit, and I'm like, oh, that reminds me of like a rafting trip from my high school where a kid died. Like, yo, this kid really died. Like, they got whole memorial death certificate for this fool. But then it does feel weird knowing that I'm about to say someone died and a hell of a lot of people are gonna be like, this fool never existed. That kind of feels a little bit weird. Yeah. I would say.
Like they just doubt you right off the bat.
Yeah, that just because like, oh, it's typical that someone died in my story, but like, bro, like this fool really is a dead ass real dude.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of sad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we went to the same church. We went to San Gabriel Academy. Like to say that and then like have a bunch of people be like, nah, this fool just pulled him out of thin air. It's like.
You just gotta lay off the dead people's stories for a while.
But see, when people die, it's interesting to me. Like it's a milestone in your life when a friend passes away.
Yeah, you don't forget that.
I don't forget that. So if it pulls to my head, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a big thing that happened.
By the time you hit 40 though, and you don't have a handful of people that you know throughout life that passed away, like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, you guys are also cooler than me. I don't have like a lot of people who died around me.
Really?
Not really. No, even family.
Well, we went to Christian school.
Yeah,
we didn't even like
school.
Well, but that's exactly it, right? Like, I think all that shit. Like, there's a lot of pent up, all kinds.
Maybe,
of stuff.
yeah, I guess.
Like when I told you my 6th grade teacher died of AIDS.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I just think it's like the sample pool is small, is what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to a public high school, you have so many
you know
more
what it is though?
people.
It's the community. We hear about when they die.
Oh,
you won't know who from your public school passed away.
Right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
but it's the community. It's like if somebody passed away, everybody would know and
I
everyone would
see.
be
Like when I was a kid, my babysitter died, and that was like the first death around me that I knew about, and it was crazy to me but my parents were told about it because it was my babysitter.
Yeah, I think that's probably why people are like, hey, you know some people that died. It's like, it's community. It's like, you know, probably one Jewish person dies, every Jewish person on
That's
earth probably
true.
knows, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they're just that tapped in.
It's like a visual from like all over the world.
Yeah, there's no white community, bro. Unless like a Colts legend dies, I don't know, fucking.
Yeah, I guess it's different in that way.
You know who I think all the white people of the world would go like stand by? The Beatles.
Oh, for sure. 1000%.
I thought you were gonna say Tom Cruise.
1000%.
Nah. Because there are people that don't like him because he's Scientology.
When Steve Jobs died, all the whites were sad. But then we found out that he's not full white, I guess.
What is he? What
Oh,
is
yeah.
Yeah, he's like Iranian or something.
Half Middle Eastern or something. Yeah.
So I was like,
I can see it.
Oh,
Can you?
I got over it pretty quick.
Did we ever have people on the show that, like, other than that doctor guy that, like, lied to the audience while they were here?
That guy was sick.
Dude,
That guy was so sick.
wild.
What a fucking.
What doctor guy?
We had a fake doctor here.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
And then I was just interested the whole time.
It was
like,
great. It was great.
What was he
stuff.
talking about?
It sounded
everything.
normal at first, and it got crazier and crazier and crazier. And by the end, I was like, okay, you got 2 double degrees. You're like a top surgeon. At this
Physicist,
place, and
nuclear scientist.
It's like, shut the fuck
He
up,
built a submarine
man.
when he was a kid.
And then Joe ended up going to his house.
Yep.
But this dude didn't have anything to show that, like, vetted his...
No, he had a
claims?
lab coat.
And a little ID thing,
Yeah.
but you could probably get
By
it
the
printed
way,
somewhere else.
on this show, that's pretty damn good.
You came with props. Great.
That's true.
Oh, perfect. You're on theme.
You have a lanyard. Oh, yeah, you're in.
Come on.
Yeah. He didn't have nothing online that, like, if you looked him up, it's
Well,
like...
I checked that.
So he just wasn't a doctor at all?
Joe Googied him after.
So he wasn't a doctor. He had no qualifications.
There was no Googling before to
Well,
bring him
no,
on the
like,
show?
so he said he worked at a certain hospital, right? Usually for all the hospitals, you know the staff and
Yeah,
everything.
you
You
can
can
look it
just
up.
go on the website. I checked afterwards, 0 things.
What year was this?
Man,
5
this
years
had to
ago?
be like
6.
2017, maybe.
He was like crying.
But he played the long game, though.
Yeah.
So it started off with him going to me and Joe's barber. And so we saw him there for a year already in Scrubs. And that's the person that you meet. Scrubs, name tag, all that. So you see this fool
Who
come
goes to
in.
the barber in scrubs?
Fucking
Like all the
catch me if you
doctors
can,
have
dude.
But he goes there, he gets a haircut all the time. And then so you meet him at
Pay
these
him
like
a check.
micro doses at this level, right? And then so as the story builds, you're like, okay, this is like, makes sense. Like, why would anyone lie about this? And then it wasn't until like a year or 2 after where he came on.
Well, it's because after he came on, a lot of people that knew him messaged us and said that guy's a straight up like
Yeah,
something's wrong with him.
psychopath.
That was compulsive liar. He's not really a doctor. And then I was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
I didn't think he was a psychopath. I thought he was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, dude, it was like he had the girls like fucking puddling in their chairs, bro. He's talking about all his credentials and shit like that.
Saving a life. He's like, you know, I look into a child and I save his life. Like,
I'm not kidding. It was like that. It was like that.
oh, he probably crushes.
I think, you know, I think all the girls were down. They would say, wood. Wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he was talking about how he became like a neurosurgeon because his dad had like brain issues or whatever. So yeah,
I met his dad. He was nice.
so all the girls were puddling. Yeah, like
They're puddling, dude. We had to put a fucking tarps down.
Nah. Was there anyone besides that guy?
There's one, but we're not gonna bring that person up.
Wait,
What are you talking about?
which one? Give me hints like we're it's
Look at Joe's face. Look at Joe's face.
I don't know, but
I
you
don't
looked
know.
at me, so
I
I'm
don't-
giving you the back.
We discussed this. We discussed this at the.
Just say it, and then we'll redact it from the video.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Why not?
Just say it. We'll zoom in on your face and redact.
Wait, what?
What does it rhyme with?
Nah, dude, the video's already up.
Oh man.